Hello and welcome to Openboosters. We're going to be talking about Kaladesh today. Yay! Spoilers have come out. Vehicle is one of the new types. Craziness has ensued. But let's go ahead and talk about some. We got Sky Skift. It's 2. It's a common. It's a flying vehicle. 2/3 if it's an artifact creature. Crew 1. Tap any number of creatures you control with total power 1 or more. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So you literally have to have another creature out to turn it into an artifact creature if you tap it. So I don't really like the card. It's a cheap casting cost. You can put it out there, but he's not really a 2/3 flyer. He's an artifact, and the only way to turn him into a creature so he can attack or block is if you have another creature out there to tap and turn him into a 2/3. So I'm not really liking the mechanic there. It's just bad, because if I don't have a creature, it does nothing. It's just a card that's an artifact. Woot! That does nothing. Because in the first rounds of gameplay, you might put out a 1/1 and that kind of stuff, and it'll get plinked off. You put the Sky Skift out there, they'll like go, oh, it's a Sky Skift, I don't have to worry about that. And then you'll put out another creature, and they'll destroy that, and you still can do nothing with your Sky Skift. So I don't like it. So I fail that card. That is a big giant F. Then Smugglers Copter 2. It's a rare. It's flying 3/3. It's a little bigger, but it's still just an artifact. And whenever Smuggler Copter attacks or blocks, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. And it has a crew 1 as well. So it's the same casting cost as our Skiff Scythe, but it is a rare. But it does have a special ability. Chances are I should be able to power it. And it really has a good ability inside if you attack. So because you can go through your deck. So I give it a C, but still, if I got Sky Skift and a Smuggler's Copter in my first draw, I still wouldn't be able to activate either one because both of them are not creatures. Then I go to Oval Chase Dragster 4, uncommon, Trample Haste, 6/1. Oh, Ball Lightning. Craziness, right? That's awesome, right? But it still has that crew 1. Chances are I can get a 1 creature out there, right? I should be able to, and I should be able to use it. But it's still 4 casting costs. I still have to have a creature on the board. I give it a D. Because it will see play. It still should be usable. But really, it should have came out with, you can actually immediately attack, it's automatically an artifact creature, and if you don't crew it, sacrifice it. Then it would be like Ball Lightning, right? I think that would be better. And then it would match actually its little quote at the bottom, which says, either it'll crash or win the race, possibly both. This one doesn't crash. I mean, this one, it just stays out there doing nothing in the garage if you don't have a creature to crew it. So I really don't like the card. So I gave it a D because it will see play. And then we have Fleet Wheel Cruiser 4. Trample Haste 5/3. When the Fleet Wheel Cruiser enters the battlefield, it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn, and it has a crew of 2. Boom! There's Ball Lightning, but in Juggernaut form. That's what Oval Chase Dragster should have been. But it still has that crew of 2. But I can still use it when I put it out there. And that makes it a great card. I give it an A because everybody's going to use that card. Because you can use that card. You can even use, if you don't have any creatures, you can use Aethel Trade Winds to put it back in your hand and unsummon another person's creature on the board. So then you can re-put it back out there and use it again. So there are ways around so you can actually use it. I like that. So that one is an A. That brings us to Sky Sovereign Console Flagship 5. It's a mythic, flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it attacks. It deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Okay, so it has a crew of 3, which really is nothing. I mean, you're already casting out 5 level creatures, so you should have 3/3 somewhere on the board, or a whole bunch of tokens on the board if there wasn't a board wipe. But you still get to do 3 damage when you put it out there. So I actually do like the card. And whenever you attack, it does an additional 3 points. And it's still only a crew of 3. I like the fact that it only has the crew of 3. So I'm giving it a B, only because it has that crew effect. Otherwise it'd be an A+ all the way. Because if it was a creature on the board, everybody would play this. It's cheap. I like the fact that it's 5 to cast out. So I really do like the console flagship. That is a great card. Alright, then we have Demolition Stomper. 6, he's a 10/7, crew 5. Demolition Stomper can't be blocked by creatures 2 or less. I'm torn on this one. He's either a D or a C. I mean, the crew is 5. You should have at least 5 in power somewhere on the board. At this point, you're casting something that's level at 6 mana. So, and you could probably have 5/1/1 tokens out there. And he can't be blocked by 2 or less, which is actually a great ability, because then they can't just, you know, put a 1/1 in front of you. They have to at least put something with 3 in it. So I'm torn. It's either a D or a C. Just torn on this one. Which brings us to Playmat Bazaar Barge. 4, 5/5. When Playmat Bazaar Barge enters the battlefield, draw a card. Crew 3. I don't really like it. I think it's a C. You do get to draw a card, which is why it gets to the C level. And then it has a crew of 3, which you should be able to activate it by the time you get into 4. But if you don't have any creatures, you can't put it out there. I know if you can actually crew it, you can use Acrobatic Maneuver, exile it, and then it returns back to you, and you get to draw an additional card because it enters into play. But I just still don't like it. Cultivators Caravan. 3. Tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Okay, that's just A+ right there. And its crew is 3 and it's a 5/5. This means if I put it on the table, I can still use it automatically, right? Because it's an artifact. It's a real. This one I like. I like the design of it. I like the fact that it's an artifact. A+ all the way. Because of that. It's like, I put it out there, I can use it. I can do something with it. It does something. It's perfect. I love it. Now, with all these, they actually came out with Metalwork Colossus as well. Because remember, all of these that we're putting out there are really just artifacts. They're not artifact creatures unless we crew them. So, I just wanted to mention that. I know it's not a vehicle, but it stands to reason that's why they put it in there. If I put out the Sky Sovereign in a Bonnet Barge, that's 9 off of its 11 cost. He only costs 2 at that point. Especially if I don't put anything in to crew it. It's perfect. I love that card. Because it just kind of matches the set really well. So I had to mention that. What the crew concept really needs, from my opinion, is the ability to transfer the creature's ability that you're crewing it with to the actual creature artifact. I think that's the one thing it's really lacking. So you can make a Forest Walker, or if it doesn't have trample, you can add trample to it, because these guys will be crewing it and give it protection from black. And I think that would make the crew ability actually really worth a lot, because then it would build up what the artifact actually does. And you know that the R&D of Wizards of the Coast probably thought about it, because they have Speedway Fanatic, Haste. Whenever Speedway Fanatic crews a vehicle, that vehicle gains haste until end of turn. I'm pretty sure they probably thought that it would make things a little bit too powerful or whatever, but I really think that needed to be in there to make crew actually really effective. Because I really think crewing is a little more of a hindrance than anything else. Now maybe that's what they really wanted it to be, so they could get the cheaper casting cost. I really don't like that. But always remember, you can start your engines. Vehicles you control become artifact creatures until end of turn. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. So there you go. That is a perfect card for this set. Because if you put all the vehicles down, you can't get them to go. At least you can start your engines and hit your opponent with a bunch of stuff. That's pretty much it. I mean, for the vehicles currently, and I know there are more cards coming out, but it's just, you know, I really don't like the crew. I really don't. But some of the cards are actually really good. Alright, hope you enjoyed this. Hit that like button, subscribe, make a comment. Hopefully you'll tell me that you enjoyed this video, and have a nice day, everyone.